Today we are going to learn about passing values to functions and passing arrays. This is the code that we are going to use. Let us walk through the code and see what's happening. I have declared an array of size 10. I have declared an integer x and I have assigned value 10 to x, and I'm printing cout saying before modification, and I'm calling this print array function. I'm passing the array as well as the size of the array. So basically this print array function is going to print the array. Let us try to run this code and see what's our output. So here it's printing all the values in the array, right? So let us call this function fun. So this function fun is taking arguments, 3 arguments. The first one is the array, second one is the size of the array, and we are passing an integer variable x. So once this function is called, this for loop here is modifying the contents of the array. So we are saying we are just adding 100 to the value of I, and we are writing it to the array, and this loop is going to happen for 10 times. And here we are passing x. The value of x is 10. When we pass x, the value will be copied to integer y. One thing we need to observe here is x is stored in one address. Let's assume the address of x in memory is 1000, and the address of y need not be 1000. It can be something else. It is just that the value 10 is copied to y. The address of y can be 1500. But in case of arrays, it's not what actually happens. When I say send this array, it is not actually sending all these values. Instead, it is actually sending the starting address of this array. Let's assume the starting address of this array is 2000. So we are actually sending that particular address. That means this variable ARR is also pointing at the same address 2000. So if we make any changes to the contents in the address, then it is going to reflect everywhere this particular array is used. Let us run this example and see what's happening. Alright, so before modification, these were the values of the array, and here we have passed the x, and we are printing the value of y is y, and we are changing the value of y from 10 to 25, and we are printing out the value y here. So you can see the value of y is 10, modified value of y is 25. So we have called this function, and the values of all the arrays have been changed now, and we are not returning this particular array back to main function. And we are printing out after modification. We are calling the same print array function that we called here. So once this print array function is called, it's actually going to send the address again, and it's going to print out all the contents in the particular array. That means this variable ARR, print ARR, and array, all the 3 were pointing at the same address. That's why when we modified the contents of the array here, and when we passed the modified contents to this print array function for the second time, we could actually see different values in the array. After this, I'm printing, after calling the function, the value of x has not changed. That means the way the values inside this array got changed, but not in the case of x. The value of x did not change because this particular value was copied to this particular integer y, but in case of arrays it is the address that we are passing. So if we make any changes to the contents in the address, then it's going to reflect everywhere if we use that variable again. So this is a quick video on how to pass arrays and variables to functions. I hope this helps. Thank you.